Hello again, Bracey here with our daily vlog number 7. We've made it to a whole week. Yeah, congratulations, Bracey. I'm sure you appreciate me calling you out on this. So, anyway, I'm going to also start to work on my uhs because I hear it in the videos and it drives me nuts. And now that I've called it out, I know you're going to as well, which is probably just me, but it's all right. That's the most important one, to notice that the uhs are happening. Uh, I don't know what to do other than that, except for stand in silence. Can we handle the silence? Okay, so good morning. It's the daily vlog number 7. Last vlog we were just talking about POIPM, which is the metric for measuring points of interest per minute. And we're applying this to virtual reality in our application using our platform qpvr. qpvr, QP standing for quantum portation. Quantum portation is just a fancy way of saying we're in multiple places. An experiencer is in multiple locations at the exact same time. So instead of transporting them from one location to another, which is what most solutions are trying to do, figuring out how do we move you from one location to the other, to the next, our platform is going to start with this idea of you already exist everywhere you need to be. Let's just reveal that. And then it becomes a fun game of transitioning as opposed to transportation. So I call it Q-porting, but it may be a better, like a short term is Q-porting, but maybe a better term for it is Q-trans. That sounds like queer trans, which isn't a problem, but is kind of a problem because it's not, but it's about transitioning. And basically, we're using the technology that we're working on is utilizing the shaders in a game engine, something called a stencil, and the stencils allow you to draw one image on another geometry. You know what, now that I'm realizing it and I'm starting to say it, I don't necessarily know enough of the fundamental technology of stencils to be able to explain it really well. So I'm gonna hold off until I do know it really well, so then I can explain it. I know it well enough to be able to build on the technology, but not well enough to explain it to make sure I don't make an ass of myself. So ultimately, Q-porting, we're making these transitions happen so you can just transition from experience to experience to experience. There doesn't need to be a loading screen because every time you get into a new experience, the other experiences that you have the ability to go to have already loaded up underneath, overlapping the world that you're already a part of. So all those places they're there already, wherever you want to be. So instead of having to move you there or having to load up the next scene, turn off the lights on the scene that you're in, and then raise the lights on the new scene, instead of doing all that, you're just pulling back the curtain and you're in the next place. Or doing some cool transition, because you can do multiple types of transition. The way that the stencils work is that they're applied to geometry. So you can make any kind of shapes be a transitioning tool. If we want to think of it as like going into the movie theater and before they show the screen, like the curtains drew back, or when you're looking at a live play, before we step into whatever the world the play is trying to present, the curtain goes up. And often when you're transitioning in a play from one scene to the next, the lights go down so they can change out the scene, and then you can step into the next thing. There's geometry that is kind of blocking our view, or darkness is blocking our view, and ultimately we're trying to utilize geometry more than the darkness to facilitate that transition in cool new ways. And once you understand that the geometry can be used to transition somebody, visually, and do it in a way that doesn't make anyone sick, because there's nothing moving around them. It's just something that's wiping away the geometry that exists and wiping in new geometry. Once you start to realize how fundamentally easy it is, then you can do whatever kinds of transitions you want to. So yes, because you can let me close this. Somebody is probably making noise downstairs. Once you realize that you can quickly transition from one experience to the next, to the next, to the next, that gives a lot of agency to the user, to the experiencer overall. They may not have agency in each individual space that they go to, because one might just be a passive experience. One might just be a video on the wall, or one experience might just be music in the room. But they will have agency to leave that room and immediately go to the next place, and in that place they might have more agency to play an interactive game, to have an interactive narrative experience. It will be up to the creator of each space, just like it's up to the creator of each YouTube video. It'll be up to the creator of each space to determine what the experience is going to be. But the agency overall lies in the hands of the experiencer, because they can choose to go from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, as fast as they want to, as soon as they're bored, or or because they're with friends and the friends want to move along. And yes, there's friends. This is a multiplayer experience. Actually, I call it socially fluid. And we'll get into what that means, or social fluidity. We'll get into what social fluidity means on the next vlog. But thank you for taking the time. I'm Bracey, and hopefully you'll see me in the next one.